This woman wants WNBA arenas so she can groom children in peace. How dare you come and violate the mini pride parade? Are you kidding me? A woman that rebounds and shows up half naked to games?
First, they're complaining that they don't get paid enough money. Then a girl like this shows up that's about to increase everyone's pay, and they're still about it.
Angel Reese just showed up to a game in an outfit that had everyone's jaws on the floor. But get this, it's not just fans who are freaking out. Even other players are weighing in, and you won't believe what they're saying. Picture this, Angel walks in wearing something you'd expect to see at a nightclub, not a basketball court. It's so revealing. People are doing double takes. Some fans are cheering her on, calling her brave and empowered. Others, they're shaking their heads, saying she's gone too far this time. But here's the crazy part, and it's not just about the clothes. There's a whole story behind why Angel's doing this, and it's got everyone talking. Is she trying to make a point? Or is this all part of some bigger plan? You know what's even wilder? This outfit drama might be changing women's basketball in ways nobody saw coming. But we're just getting started. Trust me, you haven't heard anything yet. Remember when athletes were all about being role models? Angel Reese is flipping that script. She's not just embracing the villain role, she's redefining it. And here's the kicker. It might be the smartest move in women's basketball history. Angel's not playing around when it comes to her image. She's straight up owning the bad guy persona, and she's not shy about it. In her own words, she said, "I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And I know I'll go down in history." That's some serious confidence right there.
And so you knew they were going to come for you. You had to know that. Now, to the degree that they're doing so, I get where you're coming from.
Pictures I have put up half naked. And one thing we know is a slam dunk here is you're a hypocrite.
But why is Angel going all in on this bad girl act? It's not just for kicks. She's got her eyes on something bigger. Angel knows that her rivalry with Caitlin Clark is lighting up the women's basketball world like never before, and she's using it to her advantage. Think about it. Angel's not just playing basketball, she's playing chess. Every move, every controversial celebration, every headline-grabbing outfit. It's all part of her strategy. She's not just trying to win games, she's trying to win attention for the whole sport. And you know what? It's working. Angel's got people talking, and not just about her. She's shining a spotlight on women's basketball that's brighter than ever. In her own words, "I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now. And I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too."
Angel Reese, which is absolutely ridiculous, and let's talk about how ridiculous it is.
You just wanted attention. You were being an attention whore. And so because your basketball couldn't do it, you went to other things.
But here's where it gets tricky. Angel's strategy is a double-edged sword. On one hand, she's bringing in viewers and getting people hyped about women's basketball. That's huge for the sport. On the other hand, some folks are starting to wonder if all this drama is taking away from her game. Remember that recent game where Angel celebrated after her teammate fouled Clark? That wasn't just heat of the moment stuff. That was Angel doubling down on her bad guy image. It's stirring up the pot. Sure, but it's also raising eyebrows. Is she focused more on being the villain than being the best player she can be? But here's the thing, Angel doesn't seem to care about the haters. She's playing the long game. In her mind, all this attention, good or bad, is exactly what women's basketball needs. Yes, she's willing to take the heat if it means more eyes on the sport. So is Angel's strategy genius or risky? Maybe it's both. She's definitely shaking things up in women's basketball. She's got people tuning in who might have never watched a game before, but she's also walking a fine line. Can she keep up her bad girl act without letting it affect her performance on the court? While Angel's been busy crafting her villain image, Caitlin Clark's been quietly dominating on the court. The numbers don't lie, and they're telling a story Angel might not want to hear. Is Angel's focus on fashion coming at a cost to her game?
But sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it.
But she's pretending like there is something there. There's one person who is driving all this, and it's Angel Reese.
Let's talk about Angel's latest outfit that's got everyone buzzing. She showed up in this purple jumpsuit that was so revealing, it made people forget they were at a basketball game. Some fans are loving it. saying she's bold and confident. Others, they're shaking their heads, wondering if she's gone too far this time. But here's the thing, Angel's not just playing dress up, she's playing a whole different game. Every outfit, every headline, it's all part of her strategy. She's building her brand, making sure everyone knows her name. And it's working. People can't stop talking about her. But here's where it gets tricky. While Angel's been busy being the center of attention, Caitlin Clark's been putting in work on the court. And the stats, they're telling a pretty interesting story. Caitlin's averaging 15.6 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 6.4 assists in her early WNBA career. Angel, she's at 10.6 points and 8.9 rebounds. That's not bad, but it's not exactly setting the league on fire. So what's going on here? Is Angel's focus on her image taking away from her game? Some critics are saying exactly that. They're arguing that Angel's more worried about what she's wearing to the game than how she's playing in it. And you know what? They might have a point.
We had already been through some adversity throughout the year, missed games, different lineups, so many different things has happened to our team. And we were just built for this moment. And we trusted God and we played together and we're some dogs.
I do think that some of this drama, and she started some of it, to be fair.
But hold on, let's not jump to conclusions just yet, because here's the crazy part. Angel's strategy might actually be genius. Think about it. How many people were talking about women's basketball before Angel started stirring things up? Not nearly as many as they are now. Angel's not just playing basketball, she's playing the media game. Every outfit, every controversial statement, it's all getting people to pay attention to women's basketball. And that attention, it's worth its weight in gold. But there's a catch. Angel's walking a tightrope here. On one side, she's bringing in new fans and getting people excited about women's basketball. On the other side, she's risking her reputation as a serious athlete. It's a high-stakes game she's playing. And you know what makes it even more complicated? The double standard. Let's be real. If a male athlete showed up in a flashy outfit, people might talk about it for a day. But with Angel, it's all anyone can talk about. She's under a microscope, and every move she makes is analyzed to death. So what's the bottom line here? Is Angel's focus on fashion and controversy helping or hurting her career? Well, it's not a simple answer. On one hand, she's become one of the most talked about athletes in women's basketball. That's huge for her personal brand and for the sport as a whole. On the other hand, if her on-court performance doesn't start matching her off-court hype, she might find herself in trouble. Angel's fashion choices are making waves, but there's a bigger story here. Is she breaking down barriers for female athletes or crossing a line that can't be uncrossed? The answer might surprise you. Angel Reese's bold outfits aren't just about looking good on the court. They're sparking a huge conversation about women in sports that's got everyone talking. Some people are cheering her on, saying she's empowering herself and other female athletes. Others, they're shaking their heads, thinking she's gone too far.
This is a private sex cult. And now you heterosexuals have come in and ruined it.
On the court, I'm very competitive. I'm super competitive when it comes between the lines. I work really hard. When off the court, we can have a good time.
Let's break it down. On one side, you've got folks who see Angel as a trailblazer. They say she's showing that female athletes can be strong, talented, and sexy all at once. It's like she's saying, hey, I can ball out and look amazing doing it. And you know what? That's pretty empowering. But then you've got the other side. These people are worried that Angel's focus on her looks might be taking away from her game. They're asking, is this really what women's basketball should be about? It's a tough question and there's no easy answer. Here's where it gets really interesting. Angel's not just dealing with criticism about her clothes, she's facing a whole different level of scrutiny than male athletes do. Think about it. When's the last time you heard people freaking out about what a guy wore to a game? It's like there's this double standard where female athletes are expected to be role models first, athletes second. But Angel, she's not having any of that. She's using all this attention to shine a spotlight on women's basketball. In her own words, people are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that people would be talking about women's basketball. And she's got a point. When was the last time women's basketball was making headlines like this?
In my view, if she doesn't clean up her behavior, she's going to be part of the problem.
Death threats, I've been sexualized, I've been threatened, I've been so many things, and I've stood strong.
So here's the million-dollar question. Is Angel's strategy helping or hurting women's sports? On one hand, she's getting people to pay attention. More eyes on women's basketball could mean more fans, more sponsorships, more opportunities for female athletes. That's huge. But on the other hand, some folks are worried that all this focus on looks and drama might take away from the actual game. They're asking, are people watching for the basketball or for the show? Size. Well, the truth is, it's probably a bit of both, and maybe that's not such a bad thing. Angel's controversial choices are forcing us to rethink what we expect from female athletes. Do they have to fit into this perfect squeaky clean image? Or can they be bold, brash, and a little bit bad? It's not just about Angel anymore. This whole situation is making us take a hard look at how we treat women in sports. Are we judging them fairly? Are we giving them the same freedom to express themselves that we give male athletes? These are big questions, and they don't have easy answers. Let's talk about the real Angel Reese. Behind all the drama and controversy, there's a player who's shaking up women's basketball in ways we've never seen before. She's not just playing the game, she's changing it.
I've been through so much, I've seen so much, I've been attacked so many times.
Anyway, there's so much I want. Just start with the Sports Illustrated cover.
Angel's embracing her bad guy image, and it's causing some serious waves. But here's the thing, all this conflict might actually be good for the sport. It's getting people talking, watching, and caring about women's basketball. But it's not all smooth sailing. Angel's facing criticism and challenges that most male athletes never have to deal with. It's like she's under a microscope, with every move analyzed to death. So is Angel Reese a villain or a hero? Maybe she's a bit of both. One thing's for sure, she's forcing us to rethink what we expect from female athletes. And that conversation, it's long overdue.